हेलो फ्रेंड्स, मैं महेंद्र कापड़ी। वेलकम टू माय चैनल वन बिगिनर। अगर आप इस चैनल पे नए हैं तो इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करके बेल आइकन को ज़रूर दबाइए। इस वीडियो को आखिरी तक ज़रूर देखिए। फ्रेंड्स, इट्स बीन सेड दैट रीडिंग इज टू द माइंड इज़ व्हाट एक्सरसाइज इज टू द बॉडी। इफ़ यू आर अ बिगिनर and if you want to sharpen your skills, your personality and take your knowledge and your life on the next level, I suggest you must make reading as a habit and the part of your life. Friends, I must have read more than 250 to 300 books in last 5 years, so I'd suggest 10 classics or 10 foundational books that everyone must read. Friends, I would be talking completely from my experience. So I would be suggesting books in a reverse chronological order from 10 to 1. It's not necessary that you have to read in that order or you have to read all the 10 books. You can give it a go to the any one or two book. But I strongly recommend that you must give it a go to all these 10 books, because these 10 books are a foundational or the classical books written at least 50 years ago. Few of them are written more than 100 years ago. From my experience, I would say reading these 10 books is equivalent to reading 1,000 books, because I have read the books of Tony Robbins, Jack Canfield, Brian Tracy, Dan Lok, Grant Cardone and so many motivational authors. They also mentioned these 10 books and they have said that they started their journey from few of these books. So reading this one book is equivalent to reading, I think, 100 book at least. So reading this 10 books is equivalent to read 1,000 or 10,000 books, because the ideas and the principles mentioned in these books are unique and universal, and they do apply to the lives of everyone, no matter which part of the world you are living in, where you belong or what kind of a background you have, no matter you are a 10-year-old, no matter you are a 50-year-old, no matter you are just starting your career, or no matter you have already reached at the mid-level of career. So let's get started. Number 10. So friends, on number 10 we have The Power of Positive Thinking. This book was written by Norman Vincent Peale in 1952, and it's a book about how psychology impacts our lives and how positive psychology can help us to create a difference in our lives. It shows how a faith, positive psychology and a positive language towards ourselves can create a wonders in our life. Friends, on number 9 we have The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, written by Joseph Murphy in 1963. Friends, it's a spiritual self-help book which talks about power of your subconscious mind and how your thoughts and belief dominate your life. This book talks about some techniques such as visualization and a few other techniques which can help you to live life free from envy, jealousy, negative thoughts, your anger and frustration. This book also talks about some methodologies and techniques such as law of attraction, which can help you to train your subconscious mind to achieve the desired result or the best possible outcome. I suggest that these two books, like Power of Your Subconscious Mind and The Power of Positive Thinking, at the beginning these books can be little bit of a big thing to go for if you are already having some beliefs. So these books may not be that easy to digest, that easy to absorb. So some people who are from the vernacular background, who are just getting started with reading, may find these books quite difficult to read. So I suggest that you can read these books in the translated format. Like these are the books are also available in the Hindi, Marathi, and I think in the many other languages. Actually, when I started reading these books, I find these two books quite difficult to read, quite difficult to understand by the language, because I belong to the vernacular background. So what I did, instead of just giving up on these books, I read the Marathi versions of these books, which helped me to understand the core concepts. And when I read the Marathi versions of these books, I once again read these books in English format. So I suggest that do give these two books a try. These books talks about the core ideology of law of attraction, which means these books talks about the ideas when law of attraction wasn't being even named. These books talks about the concept to attract the things in your mind. Later on in the 90s or 2000, these concepts were named as the law of attraction. So whatever the law of attraction or the concepts or the videos you are watching or reading right now, it all came from these two books. Friends, on number 8 we have The Richest Man in Babylon, written by George S. Clason in 1926. Friends, George S. Clason was a soldier, businessman and a writer. This book talks about the principles of wealth through the metaphors and stories of ancient Babylon. If you want to be rich and financially free, I recommend you should start your journey with this book, and there won't be any book better than this. To get started your journey towards the financial freedom, I strongly recommend to read The Richest Man in Babylon. It's a very simple book, but the concepts are universal and really easy to implement in your life, and I'm sure it can take your financial life to the next level. Friends, seventh book I recommend is The Science of Getting Rich. This book was written by Wallace Wattles in 1910. It's just a little more than 100 pages, I think 110 pages to be precise, written more than 110 years before. In this book, Wallace Wattles talks about the way of rich and happiness. It talks about how to become a rich and live a happy and prosperous in all aspects of your life. It can be mind, health, wealth, family, and your social relations. I do recommend this book to everyone. It's more than just 100 pages, and it's in a big font, you can see, and you can finish this book in 3 to 4 hours. But I suggest that you should give this book a go again and again to understand and absorb the concept and to apply these ideas in your life. Friends, so number 6 we have Psycho-Cybernetics by the Maxwell Maltz, written in year 1963. Friends, Maxwell Maltz was a plastic surgeon. When his patient used to come to him and complain about their disfigured face, and to remove either the mole on their forehead, either to change the shape of their lips or a forehead, or to remove any scar on their body or the face, he used to operate them. But later he realized many of his patients are not happy despite of the noticeable change or shift in their faces. So Maxwell Maltz used to convince them, and by showing their videos and the difference in their faces through the images, but the patients were still not happy. So Maxwell Maltz started studying the human psychology. Upon studying the human psychology and carefully observing his patients, he realized the people who have been operated and undergone a plastic surgery and come out through the noticeable shift haven't come out of the negative story they have been telling themselves over the years. So he developed a positive image psychology and started treating his patients. So that really helped few patients to come out of the feeling of lacking or feeling of disfigured face just by applying few ideas that he mentioned in this book. So friends, this book talks about the positive image psychology, how your thoughts, beliefs and stories you tell yourself year after year alter and affect your personality and your external image and the looks. So friends, if you're going through the feeling of lack, which means if your inner conversation is like, I'm not bright enough, I'm not sharp enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not tall enough, or I'm not handsome enough, I don't look like this celebrity, my nose is not like this cinema star, I do recommend you to give a try to this book and give yourself an emotional makeover through this positive image psychology. And I'm sure this book can help you to take your life to the next level by revamping your mental image and help you by elevating your self-confidence and self-esteem and how you look at yourself on the very different level. So friends, we have reached till the mid of the video, and if you like this video and if you're still watching, I do recommend you to subscribe to this channel and do share a thumbs up. And if you have any comments or any feedback to share, please write in the comment section below. Friends, the fifth book I would recommend to everyone is the How to Stop Worrying and Start Living by Dale Carnegie. This book was written by Dale Carnegie in 1948. Friends, this book is an exceptional book you must read if you have a habit of worrying and currently going through any situation. This book is not any random ideas or suggestion, but a collage of experience, views and remedies by the people who went through the catastrophic situation. One of the example of this book is a Willis Carrier who invented AC and how he saved himself and his organization from going bankrupt and through the huge losses. Friends, human life is all about problems, challenges and situations to overcome. If you're going through any situation or a challenge and you're struggling to cope up with your life, I do recommend you to read this book, and you can find a way to deal with your worries and literally a way out to start living happily, enthusiastically, and joyfully. The fourth book we have on our list is How to Win Friends and Influence People. When Warren Buffett was asked what is the best investment, what is the best financial decision he made in his life, so Warren Buffett stopped for a while and he showed the interviewer a certificate that was hanging on his wall. He said that one of the best decisions I made was reading a book from Dale Carnegie and joining his public speaking course, which literally helped me to earn billions of rupees because I learned how to deal with people, how to deal with my team, how to inspire, how to motivate my team. And it's also written on this book that Carnegie Changed My Life by the Warren Buffett. So friends, this book, I would say, this book is a foundation or the backbone of your public relations. Friends, I have read many books about the relations, how to deal with the people, how to lead a team, and I have surprisingly noticed that every author honestly mentioned about this book, and every good book has some piece written on the basis of this book. So I suggest if you're starting off the career, or if you're in any phase of your career, if you are into a customer service, if you're leading a team, or if you have to deal with your family, if you want to have a good relations in your personal, professional, or any kind of life, I do recommend to read this book at least 2 to 3 times, because our life is all about human relations, and I'm sure this book can help you to strengthen your personal and the professional relations. Friends, the third book we have on our list is The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz, written in 1959. Friends, in this book, David Schwartz tells us the importance of thinking big and how thinking big can create wonders in our life by attracting the equivalent people, situations, wealth, and the favorable circumstances we are looking for. In this book, author shares us some magnificent ideas and techniques how to think big and how to elevate and improve the quality of our lives by transforming our thinking. And the author suggests you cannot live happy, prosperous, abundant, in short a big life, by thinking small. So if you want to live a big life, I suggest to buy this book and start thinking big. Friends, we are reaching to the end of the video and I'm very excited to share the last 2 books. Friends, the second book I'm talking about, Think and Grow Rich by the Napoleon Hill, written in year 1937. The specialty about this book is author Napoleon Hill interviewed more than 500 wealthiest people across the America in the span of 20 years and came up with a economical philosophy. Friends, this book talks about 13 principles of wealth, happiness and success, and there are many examples, there are many people who strongly recommend this book, and there are many real life examples who traveled from rags to riches by reading this book and applying these ideas in their lives. I recommend you to read this book at least 10 times or 20 times in your lifetime, because the principles, the ideas or the stories mentioned in this book are so universal, and I'm sure it can create a tremendous impact and difference in your life. Friends, the last and the most important book I would recommend you to read is As a Man Thinketh by the James Allen, written in year 1903. Friends, this is a self-help book, just 70 pages and just a pocket size book, but I would say this book is the foundation of self-help and the personal development. I'm sure there are at least 10,000 books must have written on the basis or the concepts or the ideas inspired on this book. In this book, James Allen talks about an analogy. He refers that your mind is like a garden and your thoughts are like seeds which are you're sowing in your mind garden, and your results get amplified or magnified through the quality of your thoughts. This book is just a 70 pages book, and I'm sure you can finish this book in a less than 2 to 3 hours, but I recommend you to read this book at least 2 to 3 times to get hold and absorb these ideas completely. I must have read the physical book at least 10 times and audiobooks I think 20 or 30 times, because its audiobook is only 40 minutes long and I used to listen twice a day. So this is all about 10 classics or the 10 foundational self-help books you should read and give it a try. The cumulative price of these 10 books is less than 1500. Like As a Man Thinketh, I bought just for 70 rupees, and the Think and Grow Rich I bought for 175 rupees. So the cumulative price won't go beyond 2000 bucks. And it's okay if you're not going to read 200 or 300 or 1000 books in a lifetime, but you should read these 10 books again and again, and I'm sure these books can create a lot of difference in your life. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel and stay tuned to The One Beginner.